basic cadence of every class from forward is we're going to make some introductory remarks. We're going to see how students, some issues that have come up. Then each team presents for about 15 minutes each, gets feedback from the teaching staff. Each student, while another team is presenting, provides written feedback or insights on what they think that team should be thinking about or working on, or somebody they should talk to. What that means is every week you're responsible of helping not only your team, but the rest of the teams. And then we're going to have a general conversation in a lecture. Okay, so every week outside of the class, you create hypotheses, basically fancy word for what you're going to work on. What are you trying to learn? The second one is you talk to 5 to 10 interviews, not all together, but each individual or two of you take up and you basically reach out and you try to talk to 10 literal people, hopefully through video, in such a way that you learn and validate or invalidate your hypotheses. You work on your minimum viable product, what you think is your solution pathway. You come in every week and you present and you tell us what you learned. We give you feedback. You talk to your sponsor every week, hopefully your mentor every week, your teaching team. You actually have office hours outside of class with one or two of the teaching team to basically work through issues, and then you actually have outside work. So this is kind of the cadence every week. Okay, so you do the readings. There are some online lectures that we'll point you to. They're basically videos. And you come up every week on these deliverable of 8 minutes. Basically, how much did you learn in the previous week? And you might say, how much could I learn in a week? You'd be surprised of how much you can learn in a week. And you'll also be surprised at how accessible people will become to you because they're all sitting at home like you. So they actually have time. And we hope that, and we ask that you put all of your information, we call it a blog, but we're basically going to give you a Google Doc that you fill in every interview you did in your progress. So the teaching staff can just go to one document, and there's some prototype already up there when you get the shared drive from Andrea that shows you basically the basic format. Okay, so we can all learn what you're learning. Okay. The goal of this class is to simulate a startup. We are going to ask you to make unreasonably fast decision making. We're going to push you. We expect failures. We expect there is no answer to any of your problems. You just heard from Matt. People have been working on this for a long time. There are no answers. Hopefully you'll find a corner that you can understand your problem to the point where you can suggest a solution or a pathway out. This class is not about creating a startup. It's to simulate a startup. At the end, you can be as successful with figuring out, I do not know how to solve this problem and I have not made progress, or I have figured out a solution, but I don't really want to do it, or I figured out a solution, but it costs a fortune, or I love it and I'm going to create a company with a couple of people. All of those are success. All of those are success. All we ask is that you talk to a lot of people and you do the work. It's like your team just formed around your problem and you think you're the smartest people. And I bet you by the end of this class, you will be smarter than almost anybody on your topic, because almost none of those people have talked, maybe Matt, but other than that, no one has talked to 100 people in a thing. Okay, so one of the things about the class is that we are going to push you out your comfort zone. I hope you don't take offense, but we are going to be direct with you. Tell you that the teaching staff is here to tell you what we call being relentlessly direct. That's not critical. It is being truthful. Well, I'll tell you. If you think of a quadrant, if the vertical is, I don't care and I care about you, and the one is overly polite and challenged directly. Those are is the horizontal axis. If we don't care and we're overly polite, we consider that being insincere. If we are overly polite but care personally, we're kind of giving you bad empathy. All right? if it's, unfortunately, I might suffer from this occasionally, obnoxious aggression, because I grew up in New York and that's how I learned to be in Queens. But what we call it is relentlessly direct. That means we're going to challenge you directly, not as people, but as a team, to push yourselves the way a board of directors would. And think about this, you're getting to do this for free. Well, you're paying your tuition, but you're getting it to do it that somebody has not funded you to do this. Okay. And you will, in 10 weeks, get direct feedback from people who have been doing this in the industry for years. Your mentor, your sponsor, the teaching team, the advisors, there are other people, advisors who are also associated with it. All are hoping to help you succeed. We have sponsors and mentors and advisors. The sponsors, each team will have a sponsor. That's the person who lives and breathes your problem. Each of the teams will also have a mentor. That's someone to help you understand entrepreneurship, and it's your confidants through the process. So each team gets two people in addition to the teaching staff and others who are associated with this. Okay? And so sponsor relationship, the sponsor states the problem, they likely live it, and they hope you solve it. You don't work for the sponsor. Your sponsor is your starting point into this ecosystem, not your ending point. Hopefully you both will align and agree, but your relationship is respectful, and you should realize that these people want you to solve the problem and are dedicating the time. You should realize this entire ecosystem of the people outside of UCSD are volunteering to help you, okay? The mentor they are part of your team. Each team, you'll get assigned your mentor later this week, and that's a local industry support person, primarily focused on how to do a good startup. Okay, so they are entrepreneurials and entrepreneurs, all of them. I mean, this